And we are on the beautiful map Forts of Anduin between the blue Dwarven player Mr. Smog and the red Mordor player Ave Harvey on the right side. I think this matchup is kinda early game dependent. That means if Dwarven faction player Mr. Smog can get a lead early on, he can snowball the lead easily into the victory, and this game should be kinda ending in about 10 minutes. However, if the game lasts more than 10 minutes, it's gonna be a different story, trust me on that one, because then Mordor is gonna become the unstoppable monster, hitting like a truck machine. And it's gonna be extremely difficult for Dwarves to stop the on-rolling Mordor machine. 2 slaughterhouse into the orc pit. Into the 3rd slaughterhouse is the build order from the Mordor player Ave Harvey. We have 2 mineshafts into the Hall of Warriors coming up for Dwarves. This game should be best of 15 for more show. I mean, I agree on that one, but the problem is, you know, I think the players at some point will get kinda a little bit exhausted. Hey, Yakonic, my dude. Thanks for tuning in. Nice to see you in the chat. Alright, so we will have Pikeman start. It looks like Smoky is planning to creep, and he might creep the Warg layer or potentially the Troll layer. He's gonna creep this one for sure. Oh, I was actually pressing on Windows button. Sorry for that, guys. And you know what happened to me, guys? 2 days ago, I got the booster, you know, the 3rd vaccine versus Corona and, you know, the COVID. And in the last 2 days, guys, I felt really horrible. Like, I felt like some truck was actually hitting me, you know what I'm saying? My arm was hurting, but that's the one thing. But I was feeling so stupidly unmotivated. I could sleep all day long, you know what I'm saying? These 2 last days, I wanted to stream yesterday desperately, but I couldn't, you know, I couldn't because I was so exhausted. It's hard to explain. But you gotta do it, you know, in Germany, if you don't do it, you will get restrictions. You can't do anything nowadays, you know, when you have not the vaccine, you gotta have to do it. If you want to, you know, go to a restaurant, for example, everything is kind of forcing you to do that stuff, you know what I'm saying? Eyvallah kardeşim, sağ olasın. Eisengazm. Also, by the way, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. So, slaughterhouse, 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 orc pit, orc pit, orc pit. 3 orc pits for the Turkish player. He's gonna spam orcs all day, all night. And Dwarven player, in the meantime, is getting more and more guardians on the field. He's looking for the one big push. But it's very important for Mr. Smog to actually build a mineshaft close to the fortress of the Mordor player. Because when it comes to Volk from one location to the other location, you know, they will lose so much momentum, right? They are so extremely slow. And that's gonna give Mordor a chance to be prepared for a defense. So if he moves now all the way around, Mordor, the second he's able to see them, right now, for example, he will be able to see them very soon. That's gonna give him the reaction time to commit all the units to this location and outnumber the Dwarves and kinda defend this easily. You see that? That's what I'm talking about. Now he's able to rotate. That's why in this matchup it's so important to sneak and to kinda close the gap without having to walk. Could we get some bets? The bets were already open, my friends. We had the bets open like a couple of minutes ago. The bets are always open for like 2 minutes. But in this case, you was not around. And for that reason, I think you will get the chance to, you know, bet in the upcoming game. When I got the booster, I just got arm. Sorry, yeah. I mean, my arm was or is still hurting, but that's the one thing, you know. I was feeling so like, like, you know, when you have the cold, when you are kind of sick. My eyes were hurting, guys. I couldn't open my eyes. I really thought I'm gonna die, you know what I'm saying? No kidding. 450 command points for Mordor and 500 for Dwarves. There is a mineshaft and 4 works now for the battle wagon action. So Mordor cannot nullify any leadership bonuses early on. That means the battle wagon with the banner might actually be quite efficient in this matchup against Mordor. Some creeping action is going on. Mordor is playing it extremely defensively, but that's kind of okayish for a very hard scaling faction like Mordor. You want to play it a bit more slowly early on to get to this power spike later on. And also kind of surprising to see a war chant opening. Even though you gotta keep in mind that in the version 8.5, the industry got nerfed, which is more or less like a direct nerf to the Mordor faction. Okay, can he actually steal the money? I don't think so. Smokey's not risking the biscuit. You want to trample those units down first. In this way, he can secure himself the creep and also the money. Mordor in the meantime actually has, oh dude, he has like full population of orcs, boys. Like orcs literally for days. And he was also able to keep this mineshaft protected. That's pretty nice. Mordor in the meantime is expanding at the bottom left side. That's very good to see. You know, expanding offensively against dwarves is always a good thing. Because in most cases, they will try to attack your fortress. This area around your, you know, fortress. Okay, there is one Mordor orc to scout. Archer range now for the extroverts. We have now a battle wagon with banner, pikemen, and you will need a second one too for the well, you know. Now here's Easterlings though, and the battle wagon has to avoid fighting those Easterlings. And this army, you know, they are orcs, yes, but they should not be underestimated. Because if they get the chance to commit like that, to clump like that, they will also be able to burst down your structures in a few seconds. He was actually going for the extrovert upgrade on the battle wagon. Oil bottle is gonna be a phenomenal oil bottle actually. Holy moly, guys. He burned like 80% of the population of the Mordor orc army. And with the rebuilds, he will be able to save the Forge Orcs just like that. The oil bottle damage actually against orcs, that's crazy. The burst coming in clutch immediately and they get literally one-shotted. Okay, in the meantime, there is a counter-attack happening with the battle wagon with banner. We have pikemen, 2-3 guardians on the field. Does he have rallying call? Yes, sir. Here's rallying call for the double buff action. Because, you know, this is leadership and leadership is able to stack with buff. That means in total, you can get your guardians to deal 83% more damage, which is for guardians a big deal because they have like crazy amount of damage output anyway. In the orc pits, alongside with the goblin caves from the goblin faction, are the weakest production buildings in the game, and they will get literally blown up. Eye will be used and Warchan has been used for defense. He has also black orcs if I'm not mistaken, but the oil bottle on the ground actually doing so much phenomenal work for the dwarven player. Yes, he will be able to defend himself, but he lost a slaughterhouse and he also lost the orc pit. And dwarven player is playing it kinda very smart. The defense was very important and he was also able to keep this mineshaft behind protected. Maybe it was a little bit overcommitment. This mineshaft has been taken down by the orcs. We might also need some more Easterlings to counter the battle wagons, but eventually you'll need some stronger units in long terms. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Drama Troll could be nice because the Dwarven faction generally struggles to get fear resistant. We need to get King Dean on the field for that and get the Stubborn Pride unlocked. And King Dean is very hard to be afforded early on for dwarves. Thorsten, welcome. Farad, my dude, welcome. Alright, he actually went for the Dwarven Riches, boys. Dwarven Riches for an economical Dwarven gameplay. Normally, hold on a second, I want to actually make the game a little bit more louder. I am the... you know, Dwarven Riches is something we don't see very often because normally Dwarven faction likes to get for the Hobbit summon, you know what I'm saying, for the reinforcement. But Smokey is going for more like a late game style. He has 750 command points in the bank versus 600. And he has definitely a clear advantage in the power points department too. So Smokey is looking very solid in the game number 1 with Dwarves against Mordor. Mordor has like the spammy units, you know what I'm saying? But at some point you need stronger units like that than that. Eventually some Haradrim archers could be a nice choice. Maybe even, you know, some catapults could be great. Heroes like Gothmog. When you go for the orc spam like that, maybe Gothmog could be a very good choice, you know. Also, Mouth of Sauron could be a nice choice. I mean, again, Mordor is the one faction with plenty of opportunities. The Mancher has been taken down. The Builder, not the Builder. Oh, he's gonna get actually in safety. I mean, to be honest, Abe doesn't even try to kill him. The Mancher is gonna be committed on. And there is another attack. And the Slaughterhouse level 2 is open for a potential attack. And it's gonna be bursted down. That's the power of dwarves. If they get the chance to commit on a fight, they will burst down literally everything. The mineshaft here is gonna be taken down as well. But this hurts much more because you will get more money from a level 2 resource building. You will also get more command points from a level 2 resource building. Orc Pit level 2, this one is only level 1. Haradrim Pit is level 2, but he never actually recruited any of the Haradrim Lances all game long. And maybe Haradrim Lances could be actually a great call because look at that, he has no pikemen around. So basically only Guardians and Extroverts and Haradrim Lancer could actually counter both of these units at the same time. okay? I mean, this fight is also looking good for Dwarves. There is no way Mordor can ever reach to this side, you know what I'm saying? And his goal should be to take down this mineshaft in the front, which is all about to hit level 3. And now, after a couple of minutes into the game, we see Mordor finally get the industry unlocked, but it's a little bit too late for this one, because 425 command points against 725, that's a huge gap in the command points department. Beautiful shot is incoming, but that's gonna delay, not gonna deny. The Orc Pit level 2, ladies and gentlemen, is gonna be taken down. And Mordor is losing so incredibly hard those skirmishes because he doesn't have the right units to answer. I mean, that's a perfect proof that quality goes over quantity. Yes, Mordor has eventually recruited way more units in compared to the Dwarven player Mr. Smog, but his units are getting outclassed in every single situation. That's why you eventually have to make a transition into something stronger. And with that, I'm not talking about the Corsairs, which are potentially the worst units in the game. Let's be honest, they are pure disappointment for me. I think they have not a really great usage in the game. I mean, that's what I've seen in the past 3 years. They are overpriced. You gotta get your building to level 2 first, so they don't really pay off. You know what I'm saying? Instead, go for the Lancers, but it's a little bit too late for this one. And he's now going for the Man of the Hill summon. Remember, Man of the Hill summon in Rise of the Witch King has Fire Arrow upgrade purchased. That means they will also have a great amount of DPS against buildings. Oh boy, oh boy. He's now going inside the jeans, boys. Bombard? Yeah, that was kind of, I saw that coming. There is no way we can turn this game around anymore. And that's going to be the game number 1, ladies and gentlemen. Your most favorite matchup of all time. I know you guys are all excited about this matchup because I know how deeply you guys are in love with the Elven faction. We have the blue Elven player Mr. Smog against the red Elven player Harvey at the top side. So it's an Elven mirror. What you gotta do, boys? It's an absolute disaster. It's a fiesta, because the way this matchup actually works in 9 out of 10 games will end up with end spam. So basically, one of the players or both of the players will have to recruit multiple ends. And the one thing about the Elven faction is, when it comes to deal with siege weapons, especially with ends, they will have a really big problemo. So if they both go for the ends, it's gonna be an end war. You know, literally the battle for Middle Earth in the end game. Well, at least we are gonna see who the better Elven player is. Yeah, I don't think it's one game dependent to tell that, but we shall see. That's an economical opening for Ave, by the way. We see 1, 2, 3, 4 Malone trees in total into the barracks after that one. We see a 2 Malone tree into the barracks, into the pikemen, into the 3rd Malone tree. So it looks like you want to creep this, which is okay, because it will give you the chance to get those pikemen to level 2 and also capture this inn right after this one to be able to recruit some peasants. And peasants are very cost efficient. Yes, they are not very great fighters, but you can spam them, right? And you have like additional free barracks, which is always nice. And for me personally, I believe the peasants are potentially the worst in units in the entire game. The hobbits and the black orcs are the best. Alaikum salam, Podolski. Okay, creeping action is going on. Beautiful. Easy creeping for Smoky. He's also scouting with the builder, and that's very risky, by the way, because if he ever recruits actually archers at the beginning of the game, the builder is going to be doomed. Double barracks now coming up for Ave. I think what can be good in this matchup is actually an early investment into a hero like Haldir. Isengard, my friend. Hopefully, in the upcoming game, we will see Isengard faction. Creep secured, level 2. That's good. Inn is getting captured by elves. They have now pikemen up on the field. And we will have now archers spam, because that's what we love to see in 2022. Malone trees are coming up. I mean, so far it's kind of like a defensive playstyle from both the players. They are kind of expanding, you know, creeping stuff. They are not going for like a trade yet. So economy is remaining untouched until now, at least. Smoke is gonna now lead to the second creep. So he's a bit faster, obviously, because he was getting the barracks on the field a bit sooner. This creep is gonna be secured by Ave Have. And early Mirkwood could actually be also very efficient, but I still believe that if you get an early Haldir on the field, Haldir can actually have a huge impact. because you will get him to level 5 in no time for additional damage leadership. About the Lord of the Rings about the upcoming Lord of the Rings series for the Amazon Prime, dude, I don't know what to say, man. I don't want to be pessimistic about that, to be honest with you guys. You know, I don't want to be like, ah, that's gonna be a flop, but I'm not very impressed yet from what I've seen. Let me tell you that much. Maybe my expectations were a bit too high, but I'm literally not very impressed, unfortunately. I don't know, man. So Smoky is going for an attack with peasants, Lothian warriors, Lothian archers, and pikemen. Literally one out of each kind of an Elven unit. And is Ave gonna be able to defend this? That's the question. Rallying call is available for both the players. Archers against archers. Rallying call is gonna be used first from Smoky. Archers, they gotta shoot now. Pikeman in porcupine formation. He's building a statue, and if the statue is coming up, he will have an advantage. But the Malon tree in the front will definitely be taken down. Also, this one is going to be taken down. It's actually a very good attack from Smoky. I don't know, man. You know, I feel like, and that's what I was also saying in the previous streams, guys. You know, like, how can I explain that? Lord of the Rings, in our mind, in our hearts, has a very special standing, right? It's like a very special place. That means even after this many years, when we talk about Lord of the Rings, we're gonna get goosebumps. We're gonna be hyped about it. We're gonna be excited about it, you know? But if this series is gonna be a flop, then our mindset and also our feelings about Lord of the Rings is gonna be a bit influenced in a bad way, you know? And that's the one thing I really don't want to have. Yeah, I mean, that's my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's gonna be a very amazing and epic series. We will be kind of regretting our doubts about it. But from what I have seen, I'm not very impressed. Hello Shanks, great to see Rise of the Witch King back on the menu, especially high quality gameplay and high quality casting. Hey man, Nicky Bear. Of course, my friends. Eternal welcome. Okay, so let's take a look into the current command points and power points. Ave has 610 and Smoky has 558 power points. Ave has 5. So power point wise, Smoky is ahead. Command point wise, Ave is ahead. And we have no stable yet. No stable for either Elven player, and also no heroes, right? If I'm not mistaken. No, I don't see any heroes. I don't see anything like Haldir or Glorfindel. Shanks, leave some girls to us. We all heard that it was my wife actually. My wife, because they were actually in the shop with my daughter, you know, and she called me that they want to visit my mom, you know, my mom, and just letting me know that I, you know, because I would be worried, obviously, you know what I'm saying? She was like, hey darling, I'm gonna visit your mom with your, you know, because my daughter apparently missed the grandma. That's why. Oh, we have the first hero, Glorfindel. Is gonna be on the horse. There is Gollum, the second hero. This Gollum is kind of squishy. I mean, imagine the Gollum from BFME 2 has 10,000 HP. Or 15,000 HP, actually. The Malon tree is gonna be taken down. Okay, so this game is actually looking good for Smoky so far. He's not expanding as much as he could, though. I mean, there is obviously so much space. Oh, wait a second. Avi doesn't say a word and he's gonna leave the series instantly. Just like that, boys, just like that. We have the blue Dwarven player, Mr. Smoke, at the bottom side, against the red Mordor player, Ave at the top side. So Dwarves can actually be good on a map like this, because on a map like this you will get the chance to build multiple offensive mineshafts, and that's gonna nullify the only weakness of the Dwarven faction, the lack of mobility. That's why it's very important for Mordor to keep scouting all the time. And for you, early on, is your only goal to survive. You don't want to be losing too much, which will bring you really backwards and kind of make you down. And it's really hard to recover against Dwarves, because if they get a chance, if they're gonna be able to get a lead, they also are the best snowballing faction in the game. They will be building multiple mineshafts and pressure you non-stop. It's gonna be absolute nightmare. You have a slaughterhouse opening for Mordor. On the other side, we see 2 mineshafts, Hall of Warriors, into the 3rd mineshaft next to the troll lair, which means Smoky is planning to creep the troll first. But keep in mind that there is no inn available on this map. You have only creeps and those signal fires left and right, which would be also great to capture for the Mordor player AVHV to increase your vision control. I hope you watch more elves fight tonight. Hey man, don't make yourself enemies in the chat, please. Because people, they don't like to see Elven mirrors in 2022, trust me on that one. I think Elven faction is the most hated faction in the game, and regardless how many times you nerf elves, they still find a way to win multiple games in a row. Crow Finitum, thanks for the follow, appreciate it. Welcome to the streamer, dude. Hope you're gonna enjoy your stay. We have now Guardians coming up very soon. And look at this, ladies and gentlemen. What is this? 6 slaughterhouse opening before the first orc pit, into the Haradrim Palace second. So it's a very greedy and money-hungry opening for Mordor, but the thing is, he won't even get punished for that yet. Because Dwarven player is kind of busy trying to creep this without taking too much damage. And the creep can be smart sometimes. Look how much time Smoky is losing while he's trying to creep this, you know what I'm saying? And he will still end up taking damage. Sometimes when it comes to micro around the troll lair, when you are not on host, it's very hard. But he was able to do that regardless, and the creep is now going to be secured by Dwarves. And he has now 1 Guardian up on the field. He's going to get obviously more and more Guardians, and he's going to be prepared for a big push. The mineshaft is coming up now next to the 2nd troll lair on the map. It means he might also get the chance to creep this one. There is another mineshaft. But Mordor is kind of getting away without his... with his economical opening, you know what I'm saying? He is not getting punished yet. He has 6 untouched slaughterhouses. That means he will even get the chance very soon to be able to recruit eventually something like Gothmog. You know, Gothmog, when you go for the orc spam, can be actually quite efficient. And look at that. He's going for the black orcs right off the bat. So black orcs, I mean, he's skipping those weak orcs. And May Shadow Fax with the Raiders. May Shadow Fax, my dude. Thanks for the raid. Theoden King stands alone, not alone. Rohirrim. Everybody, guys, welcome to the stream in the Champions League for the #1 spot between AVHV against Mr. Smok in the game #3 between Mordor and Dwarves. The slaughterhouse is going to be definitely taken down, and Mordor has to get a bit more on the field than he already has. He's going for the 2nd orc pit level 2. More black orcs are being recruited, and there is only 1 single black orc, and that's definitely not enough. The thing about the black orcs is, I believe when they get level 2, they will be able to win the 1v1 situation against Guardians. With the Bloodthirsty. Haradrim lands on the field, Corsairs are now being recruited, he might even be able to take down the orc pit level 2, yes sir! Do look at this, that's a... I mean, even though it's level 2, look at that, level 2 has 3000 HP, but a level 1 Hall of Warriors has 4000 HP. So the the orc pits are just so extremely squishy. So, Warchan has been used defensively from Mordor, but he's actually losing quite a lot. And once again, the snowballing effect is definitely on the side from Smoky with the Dwarven faction. He's also creeping the troll lair at the same time. There's the 2nd troll lair he's already able to creep. He's expanding nicely around the bottom side, around the top side at the same time. And that is the offensive mineshaft. So Mordor has to see that coming. Mordor has to scout this area ASAP. We have now some battle wagons being recruited. I love black orc. Yeah, once you go black, my dude, you never go back. Let's go. Hi Red, welcome to the streamer, dude. Alright, some more creeping action is going on with the Easterlings. Mordor actually kind of getting back into the game after a kind of rough start, but again, he was going for an economical opening. That means the punishment wasn't that painful. He will get also more Easterlings on the field. Corsairs eventually. Corsairs are a great counter to the pikemen. But the problem is the Dwarven units, they are so tanky. Hey man, Red, thanks for the 100 BD bomb, my dude. Thanks, thank you so much.
Best man Shanks, 3.
My man, thank you so much for the kind words too. Means a lot. Talos, my man, welcome to the stream. Appreciate it. Alright, so we have in the middle Mordor army Black Orcs are capturing the signal fire. Dwarven units are actually moving from the bottom left side. The slaughterhouse is going to be taken down. There is no defense. And there comes the banner upgrades and eventually the wall upgrades for the sustain. Remember, the battle wagons got kind of like a rework in the version 8.5. So they are now cheaper to be recruited. They cost only 400, but the upgrades are a bit more expensive now. So at the end of the day, if you go for the upgrades, you will need to still pay the same amount, but you will now get the chance to recruit them a bit cheaper at the first place and to use them for trampling down the enemy units. So definitely a buff to the Dwarven faction. That's a huge Dwarven army. We have now King Brand up on the field, the most seen Dwarven hero in the game. The builder is gonna get in safety, just barely. And look at that, pikes against pikes, but Black Orcs are here to support the Easterlings, and this fight is gonna be won by Mordor. Now the question is, can Mordor defend against such a reckless force? That's a big question. What is he doing? Hey, you don't want to let them take down your mineshaft for free. King Brand is finally... Oh, look at this damage, dude. I mean, these are no normal orcs. These are Black Orcs. Their armor is thick and their schlong is big. Okay? Okay? Huge army here. Huge army here. I will build as an army worthy of Mordor. Big push, beautiful trample is incoming with the battle wagons. He's gonna get away. Nice micro.
Morgul rats!
Morgul rats! I don't take orders. The mineshaft is actually gonna get blown away from the fire bombs. Actually dealing great amount of damage to the buildings, my dude. That's pretty nice. Tainted land, but he got kind of punished with the... Where are the battle wagons? They are still remaining on the field. Hold ground stands to kind of stop them from engaging automatically. That's very important. You know, the battle stances, you need to master them. You know, you need to know when to use which battle stance. That's very important to increase your micro. Easier, make it easier. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, in Battle for Middle-earth 1, that's not a thing. You need to always spam S-click all the time to make them stop. But in Rise of the Witch King or BFME 2, you have these battle stances, which are, you know, making it way easier for you to control your units. And yeah, that's quality over quantity. Gothmog is here. Look at this beautiful, handsome Freddy Krueger style of a hero. The battle wagon, one of them has been taken down. The one with the leadership has been taken down. That's good. Now they have no more double buff and they will be cleaned out, but that's okay because they still killed the Orc pit level 2. That means no more Black Orcs anytime soon for Mordor. And he also doesn't go for a transition into something stronger. Yeah, sorry for interrupting you, Gothmog. The battle wagon! Hey, Smoky, are you not paying attention? Smoky! This battle wagon is like... He's on drugs or something. Okay, he is gone now.
The age of men is over. The time of the Orc has come.
The time of the Orc has come. Okay, after streaming for so many years, I believe that, and I start to believe that our command points, I mean not command points, our channel points are actually very cheap, guys. Because when I think about it, Verinorion in his channel, you need to invest 20,000 points. Hold on a second, what is this? did this guy really actually converted what? He went for the anti allegiance. Hold on a second. Hold on a second, guys. Hold on a second. Who goes for the unthemed allegiance and captures Warclair? What the heck? What the heck is that? They cost actually only 150 each, so that's actually... Look at the recruit time too from these work packs. Holy guacamole, it feels like a Call the Horde ability from BFME 1 or something. They are coming on the field in literally 2 seconds. What is the build speed of these work packs? Actually, big brain alert here from Mordor. Look at the pressure now from this, you know, literally next to the mineshaft, so you can keep spamming them all the time on the field. That's crazy. The mineshaft is going to be definitely taken down. Dwarven riches on this mineshaft, but Mordor is now taking over, guys. Mordor is taking over the control of this game on the map jungles of Farharat. 475 for Dwarves and 650 for Mordor, and that's the time for Mordor to shine bright like a diamond, okay? Oh my goodness, man, that's crazy. And look at this, that's annoying as hell potentially for Dwarves, but it's gonna be taken down now. The thing is, there is another one, right? There is another one here on the middle, but that's all about it. What can you do with this otherwise? Cast on a layer to gain control of the layer, okay? Or you can cast it on the troll cage for Mordor, Mumakil pen for Mordor, and that's it. So you can cast it on the Mumakil pen or on the troll cage for a 75% increased production speed. I mean, it's just not affordable. Even when you imagine you cast it on a troll cage, right? And every single troll costs you 500. So you need to have like so much money to make actually a great use of this one. You know what I'm saying? Maybe on a goblin layer, it's actually pretty nice. Goblin cave, you know, goblin cave, spider pit. But on trolls and Mumakil, especially Mumakil pen, I don't think it's very effective. 8 power points collected. And this one is looking good for Mordor. I mean, he lost the mineshaft with Dwarven riches on it. He lost the barracks. He has no more production of units. He is down to 350 command points only. He has rebuild to delay, but that's not gonna deny. The fortress is falling down slowly but surely. I don't even see King Brand on the field anymore. He has one guardian and one pikeman inside the chains, and that's all about it. That's all Dwarves got, and that's what I was talking about. If you cannot get a lead against Mordor, if Mordor can survive the early 10 minutes into the game, it's gonna be harder and harder and harder and harder. And the Dwarven fortress, ladies and gentlemen, is falling, and Smoky, for the first time of today, is gonna be defeated. You have the red Goblin player Ave at the top side against the blue Dwarven player, once again Dwarf on Mr. Smok. Smoky gets to play Dwarven faction 3 out of 4 games. He played the Dwarves last game, the first game, and also now in the game number 4. 2 mineshafts coming up for Smoky, and 2 tunnels coming up for Goblins. And what is the plan? I mean, these factions are kind of similar, but there are just too many differences. Obviously, you know, the weakness of Dwarves is the lack of mobility. Yes, they have both the mineshaft connection, you know, the tunnel networking system, but Dwarves need that much more than the Goblins. Goblin warriors are just so much faster. They are the fastest infantry unit in the game, right? The Goblin warriors, they can catch every single unit. They can always disengage. So that's gonna be a battle of the fastest units against the slowest units in the game. You have a Goblin cave coming up for the Goblin player, and Extrover starts. Okay, that's gonna be I mean, that's something we see more and more often in this matchup. It's, you know, between Dwarves and Goblins, because Extrovers are so reliable in this matchup, right? You can go for them early on, you can use them for defense early on, and then later on you can also use them as like an archer, which also means you have a great amount of DPS against structures. So basically, you can recruit some Guardians in the front line with pikemen, you know. You can absorb damage with those pikemen and guardians, and your extroverts are going to be able to be your DPS dealer. You know, damage dealers, they will deal great amount of damage to Goblin warriors. They will deal also a great amount of damage to the enemy structures. Goblins is Ave Havi. I mean, you can always see the scoreboard at the top side of your screen. The color from the scoreboard is almost every single time matching with the color of the players in the game. Creeping action is going on. I mean, creeping a work layer in Rise of the Witch King is really not challenging. You can creep them with orcs too. It's not a big deal. If extroverts now on the field, looks like they want to also creep. More extroverts. And guardians. Come together, Goblin warriors. More creeping action. I mean, a bit slow with the creeping, obviously. The Goblins, they are the second cheapest units in the game, and also the second weakest units in the game in a one-on-one situation. And we have a spider pit coming up. Spider pit is good because you can counter the battle wagons later on. Spider links are actually a great counter to the battle wagons. And also great for early pressure and harassment when it comes to deal any economical damage. Very, very quick unit, you know, extremely fast. He's creeping the second wall clear. I mean, you can see, right? The goblins are a bit faster in terms of spreading out. There is a tunnel coming up in the middle, on the left side. You see multiple tunnels. Spider pit level 1 only for the spider links, but we might also get the chance to see spider riders later on. The thing with the spider riders, in my opinion, is like they are just so expensive, you know. 600 and you gotta get your building to level 2, which also costs you 500. So your very first spider rider is gonna cost you actually 1100, which is a lot of money. And when they don't pay off, when they don't work out, you will actually lose so much momentum. They are just so, you know, you get so punished for it if you don't play with them well enough, you know. Oh, that's gonna be a big force actually. No, the archers itself, the men of steel, they don't also deal damage to buildings. I mean, you need fire arrow. When you wanna actually increase your DPS against buildings, with archers, you need fire. So that means factions like Goblin warriors, for example, Goblin archers, or a men of steel, or rangers from the men of the West faction. They are obviously greater when it comes to deal economical damage to the buildings in compared to Elven archers with the Silvertone arrow. Silvertone arrows is more great against units, but very weak against buildings. And also the ice arrows from the Dark Rangers is also not very good against buildings, you know. I mean, this is looking scary though. I mean, this is really looking scary, boys. So double mineshaft, he's gonna reinforce his army even more and more and more and more, and Goblin player needs to take care of that, which is easier said than done. Because look at this, he's split it. He has Goblin warriors at the bottom side, also in the middle, but this army has not a great counter to it. So I don't know about that, man. This is not looking good. Spy the whole expansion, okay, for 500. But tunnel is getting blown up, and looks like you want to give up this area because he has nothing to defend this. Where is the army of goblins, I'm wondering? Is this all he got? Eventually, yes. I mean, not a bad idea from Avi to actually kill this mineshaft. This way, Smokey can't bring more reinforcements on the field, but what about the army here? I mean, are you gonna lose everything you got on the field? Now he can commit though. He can commit now. Okay, actually that's not even a bad idea from Avi when I think about it. Not even a bad idea. He will lose 2 tunnels, but I think he would have lost them anyway. And now he can flank them. He can surround them. Look at the spider links. Now they are getting into the backline. Very smart move here from Avi, surrounding the extroverts, getting into the melee range, and avoiding the pikemen. And cave bats are making the enemy units weaker, obviously. They lose now a quarter of their damage and a quarter of their armor. Spiderlings, by the way, have the aggressive stance to burst them down a bit faster. And now the surrounding effect, and that's very important, the battle positioning. You don't want to right click on the enemy army, you want to position yourself in a spot in which you can maximize your DPS and minimize the damage you will take. So basically, if you right click on the army, they will be stuck in the very first unit, and when it comes to burst down this porcupine formation pikemen, you will need to invest so much time to kill them. And your goal should always be to play around it and to actually kind of get into the backline to kill the weak units with the weak armor, instead of wasting your time to kill or try to kill the pikemen, which are gonna be almost immune to your damage, you know. Okay, that's a great situation for goblins now. We have 550 command points for goblins and 450 command points for Smokey, the dwarven player. 5 power points collected after the war chant and cave bats, and 5 power points only after the rallying call. The battle wagon just in time. The mineshaft should be protected now. He has also the chance to go for the rebuild if he wants to. This mineshaft is so low. Oh my goodness, man. Look at this. It's level 2. And this one, oh, Smokey kind of underestimates the goblins. And the mineshaft has been taken down. He's dropping down to 450 command points. And losing this would drop him down to 375 only. He has a little bit amount of units around this bottom left side. 2 extrovers and 1 pikeman. They will be able to spot the tunnel, and the tunnel is going to be slowly but surely taking down. The fissure is coming up now for the goblin player Avi. He will now get the chance to recruit the half-troll swordmen, which are one of the best, if not the best, swordman units in the game. especially against units like battle wagons, is they are immune to be trampled. They cannot be trampled down. And I believe that's like a good and a bad thing at the same time, especially for the half-troll marauders, right? Because they cannot be trampled down. That means the cavalry from your opponent is going to be able to walk through them without taking any damage though. So you can just ignore them as a pikeman. You can walk through them because there is no revenge damage. Revenge damage can only happen if they can get trampled down, right? And because they can't, you also don't take any damage because you can literally go over them, you know? The battle wagon, Tainted Land was used. The builder, I don't know what the builder is planning to do. The builder from Dwarves has been taken down. The Goblin archers though, not bad. The pikes are getting targeted by the Goblin archers. And the second they are gone, the Spiderlings can actually try to take down this battle wagon. The battle wagon though getting into the backline. Beautiful trample is coming off from Smoky. But as the battle wagon is getting slowed down, it's gonna be bursted down by the Spiderlings. And that's what I was talking about earlier in this game number 4. The Spiderlings are a great counter to the cavalry. They are able to burst down battle wagons just like that. And the mineshaft is gonna be taken down right after. That's a great fight actually. Nah, never mind. He will be able to defend this with the rebuild. And Dwarves are going to be able to win this fight. Yes, but they are so far away from this location. That means there is so much reaction time still for Goblins to be prepared for a defense. 550 command points versus 750 command points without any burrow expansions around the fortress. We will get now more and more half-troll spotmen collected from the fissure. He has 10 power points in the bank, which means he will get the chance to either pick up Scavenger or the Weapon of Dunland. There we go, Weapon of Dunland is going to be his choice. The fight was definitely won by Ave, and the Weapon of Dunland can now be special summoned offensively. But there is a battle wagon and you need to respect that. You don't want to summon the Weapon of Dunland kind of randomly in a spot like that, in which the battle wagon can trample them down literally in 2 seconds, and your 10 power point would be nothing but a waste. And you ideally want to group up with all units you get. The Spiderlings with this Goblin warriors, and you summon the Weapon of Dunland and war chant them all together. I think this can actually be definitely the game winning move from Ave. 800 command points versus 450. Rebuild is on cooldown. The mineshaft is still so extremely low. And this might be the one push to rule them all, ladies and gentlemen. Holy moly, guys. Oh, they are glowing. Oh my, they are shining bright like a diamond. You know that's the horde bonus. Look how many Spiderlings we got on the field. This is building an army worthy of Goblin Town. Go for it. Go for it. And Weapon of Dunland, I don't like the positioning of the Weapon of Dunland. I mean, I think you need to place them all together and war chant them all together, but it's not a big deal. They are still able to kill all the extrovers. Where is the war chant at? He didn't even use it yet. Why not? Oh, he's gonna use it on the Spiderlings now. I think this fight could be coordinated a bit better from Ave, but it's fine. The battle wagon got actually eaten alive from the Spiderlings. Big commitment. Wildmen have the pillage, which means every single time they deal economical damage to you, boom, boom, +1/+1. And that's also -1/-1 every single time for Smoky. And look, his money is gonna actually get lower and lower and lower. You see that? 375 command points only. He has legit only these 2 mineshafts. Yeah, these 2 mineshafts. And this one. And that's it, boys. Smoky has been defeated and from 0 to hero. Just like that. Smoky was leading 2-0 and now the score is gonna be dead even. We have the red Dwarven player Ave at the top side against the blue Angmar player Mr. Smoky at the bottom side. Angmar. I think Smoky likes to play Angmar a lot. I think Angmar is a very reliable faction with no really big weaknesses, like solid early game, solid mid game, incredibly strong late game. Like there is no real weakness to the Angmar faction besides the economy. I mean, that's the only thing, right? Economy wise, because you have only Voldor with the pillage, with the outlaw leadership, which can grant you additional money, but that's all about it, right? You can't have industry or field of fires or something like that, like from the other evil factions. 2 mills, Hall of the Kingsman into the 3rd mill. I didn't actually actualize now for the last 3 days, but I gotta do it. I will definitely keep it up to date. I was just not at my PC for the past 2 days because I got the booster vaccine and I was feeling like I would be dead, guys. You know, I was like I'm dying literally. And now I'm feeling a bit better, but still not fully recovered. from the booster vaccine. Still feeling like, you know, it's hard to explain, but it's like I'm always tired, you know. I have like the feeling I could sleep 24 hours, but yet I can't sleep. You know what I'm saying? When I'm trying to sleep, I can't. When I'm, you know, lying on the couch or trying to watch something, then I'm feeling so incredibly exhausted and tired. Very hard to explain. Hall of Warriors and Archer range. We have now Gundabad Warriors coming up from the Hall of the Kingsmen #1. Oh, did we not actually close the bets for this game? Let me check. Oh yeah, my bad, guys. We did, right? Yeah, we did. We did close it. So we have Gundabad, more Gundabad. Guys, do you actually say Gundabad or are we supposed to say Gundabad? Gundabad feels so wrong when I see that. I think it's Gundabad, am I right? Gundabad or Gundabad? One or two, guys. What do you think is the correct pronouncement of these warriors? Because Gundabad sounds so wrong. I don't know why. Sometimes the wrong thing sounds better than the right thing. You know what I'm saying? Oh, look at that. Look at who's in the chat, boys. Or Balindru. What happened, Balindru? I thought you won't. I thought I won't be able to see you tonight. Gundabad, I think. I mean, thank you very much, because I know how to write it, but I don't know how to pronounce it. These guys are literally typing Gundabad, I think. Yeah, sure, that's the name of the unit. But say one or two. One when it's Gundabad, or two when it's Gundabad. One or two. Don't type Gundabad, you know. What the heck? Because I don't know what Gundabad, how to pronounce it. One and a half. Alright, the creep is gonna be secured. Günterbad. In German you would punch like Günterbad. Buttons, my 1-2 buttons don't work. Yeah, excuses. Excuses. Gundabad. I don't think it's Gundabad. You know, even if it's Gundabad, I will keep saying Gundabad Warriors because that sounds better, you know what I'm saying? Gundabad. Girl Gun Wild. Which faction is the #1 overall and which one is #7? It's hard to say. Like I don't even know if you can say that this faction is #1 and this faction is #7. You know what I'm saying? It's like very hard. It's matchup dependent and also you know, the map depending. Some factions are bad in some certain matchups. Like for example, I believe the weakness is still overall there between Goblins and Mordor. This is one of the few matchups which is very hard for Goblins. It's definitely better now in the version 8.5 than it was in the version 8.4, but it feels still tough from what I've seen. But that doesn't mean that Goblins are the worst and the Mordor is the best faction. No, no, no. That only is depending on the one faction, on the one matchup. Can he defend this though? Kill the Gundabad. Oh, baby girl, not even close. Not even close. 550 command points for Dwarves and 550 for Angmar. Warten is available, Rallying Call is available too. But Angmar is ready. Angmar is ready to face whatever the Dwarven player comes up with. Okay. WTF? Oh boy. Actually, this is not even looking that bad for Avi. I mean, here's a problem with the extroverts only, right? The extroverts are untouched and they are dealing so much damage in the meantime, and the wolf packs, they are getting into the pikes and bursting them down. In this case, you gotta attack the wolf packs as soon as possible if you wanna keep your pikemen alive, because the wolf packs are the best counter to the pikemen. And it's not even a bad thing for Dwarves because they are able to bring the fight. Oh, hold on a second. Hey, 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 boys. Hey, hey, hey. Guys, come on now. May I have your attention, please? Would the real Slim Shady please stand up, guys? I think Smoky is the real Slim Shady, boys. because he's the one who's building the Temple of Twilight, a long forgotten and ancient building from the Angmar faction in 2022. First time we see that in 2022, the Temple of Twilight. If you don't know what this building is all about, which I can 100% understand, because it's the rarest building in the game, it will give you the chance to recruit the Sorcerer unit, which are very unique units to the Angmar faction, and they are able to have like impact on these fights. They can debuff the enemy units, they can slow them down, they can freeze them and stuff like that, and you need to get some upgrades done on this Temple of Twilight to be able to unlock stuff. For example, the Well of Souls or the Corpse Ring. And each upgrade is so incredibly expensive. 750, for example, has to be invested into the Temple of Twilight. But if you get them on the field, the thing about them is they feel very sloppy and they also feel very squishy. That means they will eventually die in a single shot. You know? But against dwarves, it can be maybe good. Who knows? Okay, the first sorcerer is going to be joining the battlefield very, very soon. The Mineshaft is going to be found and taken down. That's good. Dwarves are expanding in the meantime too. And let's see. I'm very curious about that. Very, very curious about that. The battle wagon is on the field. We shall see. There are no pikemen though from Angmar, so I don't know about that. That's the thing, because look what's going to happen the second they join the battlefield. They will get eventually trampled down by the battle wagon. Go, battle wagon. Run, you fools. Look at them. They are old men. They don't even know how to fight yet. Sell them at least, you know. This way you don't lose money. Sell them. Oh, Felvin is like, you can't touch this. He's gonna be able to use Felvin to save the sorcerers. The battle wagon is gonna be still able to survive this fight. And the sorcerer now is doing some stuff. I don't know what is he doing, by the way, but he's doing something. Dillboy, thanks for the follow. Appreciate that. Welcome to the streamer, dude. And I think he was using the Fell Strength. Right, that's like a debuff to make the enemy units lose their leadership bonuses, right? Yeah, and also nullify their leadership bonuses and make them, I mean, pretty much like cleave pads. Oh, a lot of black magic is happening here, guys. Hard to tell what is actually happening, but he lost the Temple of Twilight. It was level 2 as well. And you need to get it to level 2 for the Soul Freeze and for the Well of Souls and the Corpse Ring. And I think you need to even upgrade them on this unit then afterwards, if I'm not mistaken. So you gotta get it to level 2 for 750. That will give you the chance to get the Well of Souls. And with level 3 you will unlock the Corpse Ring. We have now, I mean, that's a very good hero, by the way, against those units. Because the way it works is you can use the Slam Shot. And the way these units are designed, they are like the Trial Master unit. So basically, if you kill this dude here, right, this purple dude here, this guy, you will be able to kill the full battalion. That means you can target with King Brand and his Slam Shot this dude, and if you kill him, GG well played, you know what I'm saying? Now here's the Well of Souls. So enemy units in target areas suffer medium damage over time and become whites upon death, heals nearby friendly units. Pretty much like the passive ability from the Chill Soul from Karsh, you know? And like it kind of works like with, how can I say, Blight. You know, Blight also deals damage over time. If they die, they will become whites, which you can control afterwards. So pretty good, pretty good. King Brian needs to be level 2. He's level 2 already. He can level up like in no time. He's also building those Dire Wolf Kennel expansions. 10 power points in the bank. 900 command points, and you can you know what you can do? You can go for the Undermine in this matchup, because the units here, Extrovers and Gunnerbad warriors generally, they have such a low armor and health that your Undermine summon underneath them might actually be able to one-shot them. I think it's a great tool if you go for it. Yeah, oh, I want to see that. I want to really see that. So Undermine is going to be chosen. Let's see. I want to see that. 850 command points for Dwarves. And the mill is going to be taken down. The Wolves are coming now for an engagement. There are no pikemen around. I don't know why not. But they have the well. They are healing up. Okay, that's like a very interesting Undermine usage, to be honest with you guys. I think it was not used for damage, because it's going to be taken down now. It has only 2000 HP, like a level 1 Mineshaft has. That's a white summon into the Felvin. Felvin and white summon. The battle wagons, they should be able to enter the mineshaft and get away, no problemo. And that's okay for Dwarves. Why? Because that's like 15 power point investment, right? So he was using the Elven and the White Summon at the same time. And the White Summon, that's the problem with the Angmar faction, will lead you later on to the Blight. It means you cannot even go for the Mountain Giant Summon anymore, for the Siege. So without Mountain Giant, it's hard for you to take down the enemy fortress. 400 command points only for Angmar. I mean, those sorcerers, they are doing something, but you can clearly see and tell that this is not very effective what they are doing. You know, this is not very effective what they are doing. He has even healed from the spellbook, no problemo. Mordor is running for his life. 975 command points in the bank. That's looking really good for Dwarves. And Angmar is falling apart. And that's what I'm talking about, you know. Look how much investment, how much money you need to invest to this building. And yet again, they don't seem to have like a big impact on those kind of fights. Battle wagons, big pressure. I mean, Angmar is literally falling apart. Dwarves really good at snowballing. They are lead to the victory. Okay, the Wolf Cannon has been taken down. We have now some battle towers coming up. Does he have Snowbind? He has not the power points to go for the Snowbind. It means no protection for the Angmar fortress. He's actually using some poison stuff on them. As you can see, they are like poison, taking damage over time. If they die, they will turn. It's like a blight, pretty much, right? So look at that. He's gonna use heal, but if they keep dying, I believe, nah, only during the effect time. And I believe heal is countering this effect, if I'm not mistaken. So it was looking like that heal is kind of countering this poison. Let me read in this ability. No, it doesn't tell anything about that. But the poison is gone immediately. Has obviously cooldowns. You cannot use it over and over again. And it's like a sacrifice has to be made, right? Every time you use a spell with the sorcerer, you kind of sacrifice one of them. And you cannot spam abilities all the time. That's not possible. The fortress is slowly but surely being taken down. Mordor is only level 2. Level 5 is required to be able to summon the Hillman reinforcements, but that's not going to be the case in this game. 4 battle wagons on the field. He has not even the power points yet for the Snowbind. That means the fortress, slowly but surely, ladies and gentlemen, is going down. He might get the power points though, barely, to buy himself some time. There's a Lone Tower special summon. He's going for upgrades on the fortress, trying to stall the game long enough to get the Snowbind unlocked. And what a game, dude. Like, Ave was 0-2 behind, and now he was just able to win 3 games in a row. What the heck? What is going on? Like, come on now. And boom, Smokey has been defeated. Three victories in a row for Ave. Nice one. Definitely a nice one. Can you imagine, you know? But imagine, I mean, there are much deeper questions to this. How do orcs, I've not seen any female orcs in the game. I've not seen any female trolls either, you know what I'm saying? To be honest, I've not even seen female in the films. The only female we have seen, you remember guys in the second film, in the Two Towers film, there was like the family, you know, like the mom with the daughter and the son. And she was putting the son and the daughter on the horse and say, hey, go guys, you go to Helm's Deep. And then you saw also her later on in the fortress of Helm's Deep. You guys know this woman? She and Elven was literally the only woman I've seen from the humans, and Arwen from the elves. 2 tunnels into the spider pit opening for Avi. On the other side, we see elves. So it's a goblins against elf matchup. Elves, I believe, have a good matchup in this situation against goblins. Because the thing is about this matchup that archers from Elven faction kind of literally counters everything what goblins have to offer. You know? So if you spam archers, you should be always able to win those fights. And you obviously gotta get some pikemen on the field to kind of, you know, control your pikemen to protect your archers. Back to the menu, yes. Looks like meat's back on the menu, boys. 3 formal on 3s coming up. And pikemen start for Smokey. On the map, Last Bridge. Isengazm wanted to see this map. I feel bad for Isengazm because my dude Isengazm didn't get the chance to see Isengard tonight. No Isengards all day long. So the only chance Isengazm we can see Isengard in this best of 7 is if Smokey wins, it will be able to win this matchup. Because then we will get the chance to move on to the game number 7. And we have not seen Isengard, we have also not seen Man of the West. So in the game number 7, it would be amazing to see Isengard against Man of the West. So, creeping action is going on with the pikemen, with lawn sentry units, and in the meantime also spiderlings are able to creep. I like this opening a lot because the spiderlings, this way they get level 2, which will offer you the recovery, you know, the healing up progress to level 2 to respawn all the dead units from a battalion as long as you are able to save one of them. You will get now some more spiderlings recruited. They are great for pressuring, but they are weak against archers. Pikemen. So they are basically weak against everything what Elven play has on the field right now. He's not even recruiting any Lorien warriors until now. We have now a steeple coming up, right? Is a steeple? Yes, sir. So steeple, that's good actually, because spiderlings are able to counter the lancers. I want to be Shelob's prey. Oh, Ramby. You want to be Shelob's prey. She's gonna cocoon you, right? Like she did to Frodo Baggins. Imagine if Shelob would be a bit more serious, and instead of playing with the food, if she would be eaten Frodo instantly, you know what I'm saying? Because let's be honest, she could have ended all there, you know, all alone. Because she could have just killed Frodo completely. But I believe if she would kill Frodo Baggins, Samwise Gamgee would have still managed to find the one rank and bring it to the Mount Doom. Hey, what is he doing? Creep this. This is not looking good for... Or? Yeah, Lorien warriors are able to win this fight. Now he's gonna say thank you very much for the creep.
Show them no mercy.
Oh, never mind. He was able to steal the money, at least one part of the money. That's not bad. We have Goblin warriors up on the field. And maybe Fissure could be nice with after all Swordsman action. Because elves are expanding, they are now getting lancers on the field. More archers are required. This fight should be won by the spiderlings, no problemo. There we go. That's good, that's not bad. And these units are level 1 only. But these units are level 2. He has 3 spiderlings on the field. And Warchan is available, right? Yes, sir. Warchan is available and Rallying Call is available too. We have now Mirkwood, and not Mirkwoods, Lorien archers and pikemen moving to the troll lair. Hit the bottom left corner. What are those lancers doing though? Hello? Smokey, are you paying attention? You are losing so many of them. But the archers though, that's only one single archer bullying the spiderling so incredibly hard. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Second barracks is coming up now. Yeah, I need to read the books, guys. I keep saying it all the time, but I really need to read the books. I have not read the books yet. I was watching the films multiple times, every single one of them multiple times, at least 10 times each, but I have not touched the books yet. Goblins are building an army worthy of Goblin Town. Fissure. It was also, you know, there were always some funny moments, right, in the Lord of the Rings. I mean, the films, they are not supposed to be funny, but still there were some funny moments. For example, in the defense of the Helm's Deep, you know, the moment with Gimli and Legolas. What is happening out there, you know? Should I describe it to you, or would you like me to bring you a box? Also in the Hobbit films, when the Gore killed the Goblin King, you know, in the Goblin Town, it was like, what are you gonna do, wizard? And Gandalf is punching him in the face, you know? That will do it. Okay, big attack is nice commitment. I like that. The Malon tree is gonna be definitely taken down. That's good. That's very good actually. Or yeah, it's gonna be also taken down. That's good. Tunnel here is going down though. That's not bad for elves. We have now 550 command points for Ave and 450 for Smokey. 7 power points in the bank and 6 power points in the bank. Spider Pit level 2 for the Spider Rider action. Oh boy. Look how long this fight is going for. You know, like one archer and one pikeman. That's unbelievable. Positioning is very important. Did he actually capture this? Yes, sir. He will now be able to recruit the Draft valiant citizens of the Riddermark to defend Middle-earth, Rohan peasants, for 150 resources. Oh, no, bad trample. Oof, that's painful. And that's what I'm talking about. If you cannot use them properly, if you cannot make them work, they hurt you so much to be recruited. Like I said in the previous scheme, the first one is going to cost you 1100 because you got to get it to level 2 first, right? To be able to recruit them at the first place. And they cost 600 each and 72 command points each. That's painful if you lose them like that. That's really painful. Okay, so this is actually a great army from the Elven player. Does he have Rallying Call ready? And not yet, but he will have the Mist available for the upcoming fight. Mist is not bad because it will be making the enemy units weaker and also stealth your own units. So double effective. Pretty good for the Elven faction. It's one of the best Elven abilities actually in the game. Also will lead you later on to the Eagle Summon. And when you go for the Elven Wood is kind of risky because Goblin player will get the chance to cover your Elven Wood with his own Tainted Land. And also Elven Wood is going to lead you later on to the End Summon. But I believe Cloudbreak is overall, Eagle Summon is overall better. In most situations at least. Okay, Mist is available. Rallying Call is going to be recharged. There is a statue coming up for the Goblin player. For the Elven player, sorry, not for the Goblin player. 600 command points in the bank for both the players. Cave Pads and Warchant is going to be available for the upcoming fight. It looks like you want to commit. And that's a good commitment, I believe, because Rallying Call is still not available. If you can win the fight before Rallying Call comes back up, I think it's going to be a good situation. He's spamming Rallying Call now. But there is just too much force. Kill the statue as soon as possible. Cave pads are flying around to debuff the enemy units. The statue is on the field, but it's kind of pointless because the cave pads are able to nullify the enemy leadership bonuses they would get now from the statue. But I think Elven player is still able to win this fight hardcore. Right? Yes, sir. He's actually able to dominate this fight. In the porcupine formation, those pikes are so incredibly tanky. It's very hard to burst them down fast enough. Spider Riders are managing to get a beautiful trample off into the backline, but they will be definitely taken down now. And once again, Goblins, level 1, they have no recovery, they have no well, they have no sustain. You gotta build the armory to get them to level 2, because unlike Mordor, you cannot buy your banner from your Goblin cave. I think there would be actually a great, like a great adjustment for the Goblin faction, if you think about it. If you could buy banner from your fissure level 2 or something, you know what I'm saying? So you don't have to build the armory, very unique building to just be able to buy banner. Or Spider Pit level 2, if you can buy the banner from a Spider Pit level 2. I don't know if this would be a good choice or not. Is there another match after this one? Hopefully, yes, Patriot, hopefully. Maybe we will get the chance to see Maru against Fairy after this one.
We come to protect Middle-earth.
We come to protect Middle-earth. Barracks only level 1. No Mirkwoods anytime soon. No heroes, by the way, until now. We have obviously now Haldir on the field. He's already level... Okay, I was blind, I didn't see him. He's level 4 already, dude. That's crazy. I mean, some heroes are able to level up so incredibly quickly. Like Haldir is one of them. King Brand is one of them. He can level up like in no time. And Haldir is almost level 5 already. 5 power points after the heal, Rallying Call and Mist. We bring swords from Lorien. 760 command points available. He's full on command points, by the way. He has almost 2000 in the bank. You know what can be also nice against Goblins? The Giant Eagle. And the good thing about the Giant Eagle is this guy doesn't cost you any command points. So you can recruit him from the Eagle Nest. You recruit him, and Goblin faction has like a big trouble when it comes to deal with flying heroes, right? Flying creatures. So the Eagle can actually be quite useful in this matchup. 8 power points. The power points are rising to the sky, boys. Holy moly. Like, he's only 6 power points away from his 25, from his 15, which will lead him definitely to the Eagle special summon. And as we are talking, there is nothing that can deal with the Eagles. And Goblins have 550 command points. He has the Spider Allies summon available, which might be used offensively to kill eventually this level 2 Malone tree here and here. If he can kill this too, it's actually a great thing. But that's a huge force. 1 half-troll swordman, 2 goblins. I don't know if this is going to be enough or not to defend such a force. This Malone tree is going down. He will also be able to find the other one. And look how much this is going to hurt. Like, this guy was at 760 command points like 30 seconds ago. Now he's gonna drop down to 450 command points only, boys. That's huge. Very nice. And Goblins are kind of holding themselves. Haldir is shooting from a safe distance. Power points are rising to the sky. 12 power points in the bank. The barracks is under attack. The Malon tree was actually able to get in safety. But are the Spider Riders that I don't know. I have no clue. He's holding himself. He's holding himself. With the keef pads and everything. The power points. 2 power points away. 1 power point away now from the Eagle Summon. You have 8 power points in the bank for the Goblin player. Trample is incoming into the backline with the Spider Riders. But there is Haldir shooting down those Spider Riders one by one. Hunting them down. Taking them out. Haldir is almost level 5. Keef Pads is gone. Are these really cavalry? Yeah, and that's what I'm telling you. Spider Riders, they are kind of underwhelming, you know, from what I have seen. They don't really feel reliable. And you gotta keep in mind that you need to invest 600 and get your Spider Pit to level 2 for them. Good against Evil El Clasico matchup for the game number 7. For the final game, we have the red Angmar player AVHB at the top side against the blue Man of the West player Smoky at the bottom side. Now, hear me out. Man of the West faction is a faction that actually does a great job against evil factions like Goblins.
Nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to.
Like against Goblins, Mordor and Angmar, but Man of the West struggles more or less against good factions like Elves and Dwarves, you know? But, you know, Man of the West faction is actually a great win rate against evil factions. We have a barracks and farm coming up as the build order into the second farm right after. On the other side, we see two mills, Hall of the Kingsman, into the third mill. So normal opening for Angmar, a bit more offensive opening for Man, for the Rohan Spearman units. Gandalf this game would be awesome. But I don't know, man. I would love to see a late game, you know, because every single game we have seen tonight so far was actually kind of fast. You know, we have seen extremely fast games, 10 to 15 minutes max, and it's always nice from time to time to see a game which lasts more than 30 minutes. So we will get the chance to see more heroes, more power points, and more like a late game potential of each individual faction. But we shall see. We have Spearmen. They are moving on to the creep eventually. Let me take a look into that. Oh, wait. Not the right button. Yeah, they are moving to this creep. And we will have now Soldier Battalion coming up next. And that's a very normal opening from the Man of the West faction. So you basically start with Pikemen, creep with them a Warclair to get them to level 2, group them up with the Swordmen, and go for the first push. Angmar in the meantime is building the Wolf Den for an early transition into the Cavalry. That means you will now get the chance to recruit Wolf Packs and also Wolf Riders. Which is a great tool, by the way. Like, Wolf Packs are once again one of the best counters to the Pikemen, and then your Wolf Riders are going to be able to counter the soldiers. So it's going to be a nice situation for Angmar. We have Gundabad Orcs moving on. But in a one-on-one situation, they should be losing against soldiers of Gondor. But they can kind of try to comment on the farm eventually. Let's see if this is going to be the case. One more Gundabad warrior checking out this area, but he will not be able to find any unit. Smoky was able to get the creep done.
Wait for it. No standing around.
Okay. I mean, he's buying time though. I mean, look, he's kind of keeping this builder busy, trying to build a wall hub. Smoky is now trying to group with 2 pikemen and 1 soldier, because he's expecting eventually some early Wolf Riders, and you want to have more than 1 pikeman up on the field to keep those soldiers protected. 2 Gundabad warriors, and also this builder is building a wall hub. So both the builders are kind of visible now for Angmar. He knows what they're up to, and the farm is going to be demolished because he knows he cannot keep this farm protected. It's a 2v1 situation, but it's still good for soldiers because they can use hold ground and shield wall formation to become extremely tanky. Have a spike collar purchase on these wolf packs. Extroverts on the field, Gundabads on the field, and it's going to be the first push from Smoky. Angmar has War Chant. He might use it right off the bat on these units, but he's going to wait now for the Trollmaster to get into the Wolf Rider first. So now here's Wolf Packs, Wolf Rider, Extrovert, and Gundabads. War Chant is going to be used. The mill is going to be committed on. 1 second, guys. Okay, so the mill has been taken down. It's not even looking that bad for Smoky, but his pikemen are going to be now eaten alive by the wolf packs. 300 command points for Angmar and 350 for Man. During all this time, Man was kind of untouched. We will now get a stable up on the field for the Gondor Knights. And eventually, you know, I think in this matchup, which are, you know, there are heroes like Elven, who is super underrated. Because most of the time you will have to fight against Trollmaster units. And Elven will get the chance to snipe down the Trollmaster itself with the Smite ability. And you can one-shot them. So heroes like Faramir, Elmar, Elven, with the single target spear or warning arrow can actually be very effective against Trollmaster units. Like imagine a combination of Faramir, Elmar and Elven. You can literally kill 3 battalions of the enemy Trollmaster units in like 2 seconds. Okay, trample. Oh, that's gonna be close. They are not even dying. They have the shield wall formation. Yeah, they have the shield wall formation now. Should be able to protect this one, no problemo. There is one more soldier. Smoke is actually pressuring like crazy. This arm is going to be taken down in the meantime. And can he save this mill? No, that's not going to be the case. The mill is going down for sure before it's going to be able to hit level 2. Yes, I mean, he could go for the Snowbind, but I think it's just too passive. And you don't want to go for the Snowbind early on. At least not to save a level 1 mill. I think Felvin is overall a better choice. Or you can even skip the Felvin and go for the 10 power point for a Orc Summon, for example. However, he will now get some more Gondor Knights on the field. Eventually, Elmar could be a nice hero to support the Gondor Knights with additional leadership to make them a bit stronger. Because the one weakness here for the Angmar faction is going to be the Trollmaster units, the pikemen, right? They are not very great. They don't even have a porcupine formation, for example, right? That means eventually later on, if the Man of the West faction player Smoky is going to try to commit on more and more cavalry-based army, like Gondor Knights early, Rohirrim later on, that's going to force Angmar to recruit the Hill Trolls. The Hill Trolls, they are the best cavalry, you know, they are the best pikemen in the game. They have incredible tankiness and also hitting like an absolute truck. Six power points in the bank. That's a huge Goblin Dwarven army. Dude, what's going on with my brain? I'm telling you guys, the booster is messing me up, guys. I'm telling you. It drives my mind crazy. The booster screwed me completely. The last 2 days, I was in pain, guys. The build has been eaten alive. 6 power points collected. He can go for the Felwind, by the way, if he wants to. Warchan is waiting for it. He wanna use the Warchan the second it's available, which is gonna be now. Or he's gonna back off. That's the question. No, he's actually trying to disengage. Extroverts getting trampled down. But pikemen are here to save the day. 450 command points for Angmar and 425 for Man. This game is looking not bad for Ave, but it's kinda even. Archer range now for the Gondor archers. We have barracks and stable. There is a level 2 farm here. And Smokey is dropping down now to 375 command points only. Gondor Knights are gonna pressure the map. They will be able to find this mill. It's gonna be taken down. Hey Skippy, welcome. The mill is going down slowly but surely. Go back. Okay. I mean, this army is not looking even that weak. The problem is that Angmar is gonna get stronger and stronger, you know, and you can eventually get the chance to get Dark Rangers on the field later on. But for now, he's building the second Hall of the Kingsman. He wanna keep spamming more and more units. I think in a situation like that, even Black Numenorians could be a reliable choice. Or Snow Trolls. Dude, I have not seen Snow Trolls for a long time. You know, they are the tankiest cavalry units in the game, by the way. Warchan is gonna be used. Rallying Call is gonna be used. You have a fight now in the middle of the map. It's a Morse 2. That's so funny when the units are making those weird noises when they are dying, you know what I'm saying? Who dies like that? Come on now, who dies like that? Imagine you would die like that. I would potentially die. Oh, I would scream like that, you know, when you get stabbed with a sword in your heart. Or you would not make any noises. Alright, shield formation on the soldiers. The fielder has to get in safety. This fight was actually looking not bad for Angmar. He was able to win this extended fight because the pikes are getting cleaned up and now the wolf riders can clean the rest, trampling down those soldiers over and over again. Maybe some tower guards could be a nice solution to this problem because they are much more reliable, much tankier, and you know, can do more stuff. Ave is looking definitely strong right now. 475 command points, his command points kept, and he once again went for the Untamed Allegiance, boys. And he used it Where? On the troll layer. Okay, on the troll layer, he will now get the chance to invest 400 and to be able to recruit the cave trolls. That's not even a bad choice because Angmar, as a faction, normally doesn't get the chance to recruit any trolls. But that is about to be changed. Now we have cave trolls, or as Boromir would like to say, they got a cave troll. Okay. This is kind of useless, right? I mean, the question is, guys, chat, do you know that? Can you pick up a Gundabad orc and throw him too? Is it possible? Because pick up a goblin and orc, but is it possible to throw also Gundabad warriors? Because they are actually, are they also as like orcs? I don't know. Creeping action, the money. Oh, Angmar gets them all. He gets all the cash, all the money. 625 command points versus 485. Oh boy, this is actually looking bad now for Smokey. That's gonna be eventually the first time Smokey is losing in the Champions League. And losing this means a lot because he's gonna drop not down to number 2 spot. No, he's gonna drop down to the number 3 spot. And that's a huge army. The builder will get eaten alive. He's gonna get in safety by building a wall up. For now, the Gondor Knights are coming for a commitment, but there are pikemen on the field. You gotta avoid fighting no matter what. Trampling down this pikeman is painful experience, as Smokey had to experience in a suffering way. He lost many of these Gondor Knights, and the well is recovering those units up a little bit too slow. That's why in many games you will see the players building up 2-3 wells to speed up the healing progress. The stable is going to be taken down. I mean, men are literally surrounded. The cave troll is punching them in the face. He might get more and more of them recruited because once again they are so cost efficient too. They cost 100 less than normal cave trolls or mountain trolls because of the untamed allegiance. The power points are rising to the sky. He never went for the orcs. I mean, he never went for the Felwind, but he has the power points if he wants to choose the Felwind. Felwind is just so great, you don't want to miss it. It's so good in every single circumstance. You can use it offensively, you can use it defensively. You can wombo combo so much stuff with the Felwind. That's unbelievable. And Ave, unbelievable, guys. He was 0-2 behind. He won 3 games in a row. It was looking really rough for Ave at the beginning of the series. But yet again, that's a perfect proof that there is always a comeback potential. Never give up, never surrender. And I believe if no crazy shenanigan is gonna happen, Ave will be able to not only beat Mr. Smoke in the best of 7, no, he will be able to move to the number 1 spot in the Champions League himself. And if he can keep this spot protected for the upcoming days, he will get $50 cash prize, which is gonna also boost his confidence for the upcoming $1,300 tournament, which is gonna happen right after the Champions League is done. Dreezy, thanks for the follow, appreciate that. Welcome to the streamer, dude. Hope you're gonna enjoy your stay. Oh man, look at this. Cave troll with the shoulders, actually bullying the statue. He's gonna be taken down for now, but men are surrounded. There will be no down for men, as Elrond or Agent Smith would like to see. Untamed Allegiance is reloading. He might actually, I mean, there is nothing to use it on really for Angmar. You get the chance to use it also on your Wolf Den on this building. Imagine you use it on this building, you get 75% increased production speed, then you spam wolf packs every single time, you know, would be also kind of funny. Because that's the only thing you can use it on, right? Yes. So Wolf Den for Angmar. Warg Pit for Isengard, Spider Pit, Fissure and Goblin Cave for the Goblins, Troll Cage and Movement Kill for the Mordor faction. Men are still holding themselves kinda a little bit, but there is no... Oh, he has Theoden on the field. There is only one hope, and the hope is if this King Theoden kinda finds a magical way to reach to get to level 6, to unlock the Glorious Charge, because then, just like in the films, he might make them invincible. And I remember, guys, the very first version, by the way, of the Battle for Middle-earth 1, the very unpatched version, the 1.00, was granting the units, when you would use Glorious Charge, you would make them invulnerable. Like, they would take literally no damage from anything. They were so busted. Like, not even Balrog could kill them. You know what I'm saying? But that's obviously epic, yes, but it's painful to play against. You know, imagine you play against Gondor or Rohan and the guy is making all his units invincible. Tom Bombadil special summon is going to be available now. The troll has been taken down. The troll cage is still remaining on the field though. Tom Bombadil will be special summon. Do it to Sonic Song and boom, sun on your face. And the Dark Rangers see you next game. Or the one of them was able to survive. Leave one wolf alive and the sheep are never safe. The trolls are dying one by one and King Theoden. Boys, the ruler of Rohan is level 3. Level 4 actually is a great power spike if you don't know, because that's gonna unlock the King's Favor, which grants experience for the allied units. So basically, if you get Rangers on the field, you can get them to level 2 with the King's Favor, and you will this way be able to unlock the Longshot. Tom Bombadil is such a great and powerful summon for 10 power points only. The mill level 2 is gonna be protected by the Mighty Cave Troll. I'm expecting something big from Angmar very soon, but once again, the Untamed Allegiance is kinda useless now. Actually, dude, Man of the West can literally turn this game around. Maybe I was talking a bit too early. This game is literally winnable now all of a sudden for Man. 9 power points after that Untamed Allegiance, 675 command points. Men are recovering, look at that. He's up to 635 command points already. Like, the gap was so huge. And now there is almost no more gap in terms of command points and power points department. Okay, the mill is gonna be found and taken down. It's actually a huge army, dude. Like, don't underestimate this army too. They have perma leadership because unlike Elma, Theoden is also giving leadership to the normal infantry units. Okay, so there was never much hope. Just a full soap, yeah. 685. 4 power points collected. The mill is gonna be found. That's painful, by the way. It's a level 2 mill. That means minus 75 command points in the bank. And all of a sudden, men have now once again more command points. Oh, but there comes the Wombo combo. Long shot, boom! And the army is getting humiliated. Just like that. The power of Angmar, the power of Felwind, the power of Wombo combo, and regardless how strong you are, nothing can match this brutal force of Angmar. Hey, no counterplay possible, by the way. Just telling you guys. The mill level 3 is defending itself, shooting down at those pikemen, and holy moly, they had even Theoden leadership, guys. Dude. I mean, that's the one thing, you know, normally in Rise of the Witch King, you want to be clumped always to keep your army as tiny and as, you know, as kind of clumped as possible to protect your army this way in much greater way. But against Angmar, the rule is the exception, because then you will be kind of messing up yourself completely. And this were only 2 ranges, by the way. Imagine like 3-4 of them. Dude, Tom Bombadil is on cooldown 8, 9 power points collected now. Angmar is now on the roll with the Rangers, level 2. That's what we do. Did you actually go for the banners? Yes, sir. Because Angmar, look at that. That's what I'm talking about. You know, from one single building, what you can also get from it. That's unbelievable. Imagine, you can get Trollmaster, which gives you the chance to turn them into Gundavat warriors, Extrovers, Wolf Riders, and also to say it, pikemen. Then you have the elite swordmen, the Black Numenorians. You can go for the elite rangers, and you can even buy the banner from the same building. That's busted. Level 2 farm is going down with the shoulders, boom, 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 and all of a sudden, dude, it was such a back and forth game. Look at this now, 460 command points versus 700. This is completely wasted, by the way. The 10 power points, it cannot be used once again in the entire game. 700 command points, the battle tower is coming up, and that's gonna be painful because you can place those archers inside of this tower. It's gonna be kinda annoying to deal with for the Man of the West player. The mill is gonna be found and taken down. With 15, he will get the chance to summon the giants. We have now Rangers up on the field, but the Wombo combo is not as effective. However, Boromir can change that. Oh, that's a Orc summon on top of the enemy units. He's gonna go now for the long shot with the Rangers and, I mean, Dark Rangers. Body blocking them so the Rangers couldn't leave, by the way. And then this Rangers, they are popping up. I mean, obviously you can do this similar stuff with the Boromir, Horn of Gondor. You can stun them, you can go for the long shot with the Rangers, but there is counterplay potential. With, you know, when you get fear resistant, the Horn of Gondor is not going to be able to affect you anymore. But Felwind, you can have all the fear resistant you want, that's not gonna stop Elven from doing what it's doing, you know. Even Cloudbreak can get a counterplay with the Fear Resistance. The Giants are in for the victory, boys. The Giants are coming now. The siege is gonna begin, and Smoky is falling apart. Look at the money in the bank from the Angmar player. Dude, I'm just telling you, Arrow Volley is coming in clutch. Fire on the ground. The Giants have to make a couple of moves. The Rangers are undisputed. They have no force to deal with that. We hear Theoden screaming something, but he's gonna die eventually very soon as well. And the fortress is falling apart. He has rebuild. That's gonna buy him some time. We heal this up a little bit, but maybe we'll... Oh, wait a second. Never mind. He's not gonna even bother using the rebuild. And yeah, that's it.